Every single hour of every single day, within the fortified walls of a high-security government facility in Washington, D.C., colossal machines awaken with a thunderous roar, transforming unassuming sheets of paper into the currency of a nation. To satisfy the relentless national demand, these presses churn ceaselessly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unleashing over $500 million in tangible cash into the world each dawn. Yet, here lies the profound revelation. This torrent represents merely a whisper of the vast ocean of money that truly exists. For the majority of the US dollar supply is not forged in ink and fiber. It materializes digitally, conjured on screens with mere keystrokes. Indeed, the expanse of this digital wealth swells by more than $4 billion every solitary day. So from what hidden depths does this abundance emerge? Before a single cent graces your bank account, it navigates an immense, shadowy labyrinth woven by corporations, governments, and financial institutions. At its essence, this money is summoned into being through keystrokes alone. To grasp the intricate machinery of this system, how it ignites economic expansion, drives the relentless rise of prices, and ensnares entire nations in chains of debt, we must journey back millennia to an era untouched by currency, to the dawn when trust itself served as the medium of exchange. Thousands of years ago, in the absence of coins or notes, humanity thrived on barter and the fragile bonds of faith. Should a farmer require a new plow, he would seek out the village blacksmith. Lacking immediate goods for trade, the farmer might extend a vow of future recompense. Grounded in the blacksmith's trust, that solemn pledge carried intrinsic worth. Weeks hence, upon the farmer's return bearing the fruits of his harvest, the covenant would be honored. As trade flourished across burgeoning communities, humanity turned to vital commodities as primitive tokens of exchange. Items like grain, cattle, and salt, essentials that sustained life and were scarce enough to command respect. Their inherent necessity and rarity imbued them with undeniable worth. Now the farmer could settle his debts instantly, offering a precise measure of grain, streamlining transactions, and fostering harmony between buyer and seller. Yet, as civilizations stretched their horizons, the limitations of barter and cumbersome goods grew glaring. Hauling livestock or heaving sacks of grain across vast distances proved impractical, a burden that stifled ambition and progress. In time, societies unearthed a more elegant solution in the gleam of metals such as gold and silver, compact, enduring, and exquisitely rare. These became the ideal vessels of value, enabling seamless commerce that spanned continents, from the ancient markets of China to the bustling ports of Europe, where coins bore the weight of mutual agreement and shared prosperity. However, the perils of transporting hefty fortunes in precious metals soon cast a shadow. Thieves lurked, journeys wearied, and the sheer encumbrance invited innovation. Thus, in the fog-shrouded streets of 17th century London, a pivotal evolution unfolded. Esteemed goldsmiths extended their vaults as sanctuaries, safeguarding depositors' gold for a modest toll. In exchange, they bestowed paper receipts, solemn vouchers of ownership, redeemable at will for the gleaming treasure within. Before long, a quiet revolution stirred. These slips of paper began circulating as proxies, traded hand to hand, with the assurance that any bearer could summon the gold they represented. In that fragile alchemy, paper money emerged, not from inherent value, but from the unyielding promise it embodied, as potent as the metal it shadowed. Over the years, goldsmiths observed a curious pattern. The majority of clients seldom returned to retrieve their holdings. Seizing this insight, they ventured into uncharted territory, crafting additional notes untethered from actual reserves, extending them as loans laced with interest. This audacious stroke forever altered the fabric of economies.
If a goldsmith extended a note valued at 100 gold coins, no fresh ore was unearthed from the depths. Yet the circulating wealth expanded by that very sum. Upon the borrower's repayment, augmented by interest, the goldsmith's fortune swelled, all derived from currency that existed solely in promise, never in substance. This ingenuity marked the genesis of fractional reserve banking, a quiet force that reshaped the global order. Leap forward to the present, and this ancient mechanism endures, now cloaked in digital veils. The goldsmiths of yore have evolved into today's vast banking institutions, their handwritten receipts transformed into the flickering numerals on your screen. When you entrust funds to a bank, those dollars do not linger idle in some shadowed vault. The institution merely acknowledges a debt to you, an electronic vow, not stacks of bills gathering dust. And when a loan is granted, no vault is raided for existing reserves. Instead, fresh capital springs forth from keystrokes alone, manifesting as digits in an account. Indeed, banks summon wealth from the ether. As the borrower fulfills the obligation, that conjured sum evaporates, leaving only the accrued interest as the bank's enduring gain. Imagine securing $20,000 for a vehicle. Those funds cascade to the dealer, then ripple onward to workers' pockets, fueling a chain of commerce: groceries purchased, rents settled, services rendered. Each dollar begets new exchanges, spawns employment, and sparks ingenuity. Yet a shadow looms. Should productivity fail to match this influx, inflation awakens. Costs ascend, the might of your savings wanes, and the essence of money diminishes. Thus, central banks vigilantly curb this creation, striving to tame inflation's fire. Once, institutions were bound to lend merely a portion of their holdings. Today, those shackles have dissolved. Credit flows boundless, provided borrowers step forward. And should reserves dwindle, the central authority stands ready, dispensing new lifelines. Yet complexity deepens further. When sovereign powers crave funds, they eschew the presses. Instead, they borrow. They issue bonds, essentially promises of future repayment, with interest.
Banks, corporations, and even foreign governments purchase these bonds, providing the government with immediate funds to invest in roads, military, and social initiatives. But a critical flaw emerges. The U.S. government expends vastly more than it collects in revenue. In the past year, expenditures soared to nearly $7 trillion, far outstripping tax inflows. To bridge this chasm, more bonds are floated, amassing greater debt. These obligations must eventually be settled with citizens' taxes. To extinguish old liabilities, fresh borrowing ensues, a perpetual spiral where debt begets money. This ceaseless infusion propels the economy forward. Paradoxically, the world's financial architecture hinges on unending indebtedness. Should all obligations be cleared at once, the bulk of global currency would evaporate. Yet this does not signify fracture. It underscores a design for perpetual expansion. The crux lies in channeling new funds toward fruitful endeavors, education, enterprise, and infrastructure that yield tangible returns, fortifying the framework. When misdirected to mere deficits or speculative swells, it plunges societies into deeper quagmires of obligation and price surges. In our digital epoch, transactions unfold virtually. Data itself has ascended as a commodity. Entities dubbed data brokers traffic in personal details daily, monitoring purchases, residences, and connections. This intelligence may fall prey to advertisers, fraudsters, or hackers. Thankfully, countermeasures exist. Services such as Delete Me, our sponsor today, excise your data from myriad online repositories, safeguarding privacy continually and shielding sensitive information from misuse. Ultimately, the saga of money is one of faith, ingenuity, and dominion. From agrarian barters to algorithms birthing digital fortunes, currency has metamorphosed. Yet its bedrock endures, conviction in worth. Each digit in your ledger is a pledge, a resonant echo of primordial pacts rooted in mutual trust. The presses in the capital persist, minting billions. Banks conjure trillions via code.
governments borrow endlessly. At its heart, money is a collective mirage of value, one that energizes existence, propels advancement, and binds us in eternal pursuit of prosperity. If this narrative resonated, subscribe, endorse, and disseminate. Gratitude.